Good evening, SRA Nation. This is Season 3, Race 2 for Division 2 at Zandvoort. My name is Douglas Mitchell on cams today, and I'm joined with my two cohorts, Tyler James and Evan Kim. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thanks, Doug. We've gone a little less formal since the last time I've been in the booth,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more comfortable. Let me just say that.
I can tell you that the t-shirts versus the suit jackets, definitely an upgrade, or the comfort category. I think that the crowd is dying to know if Evan has upgraded in the pants department.
I gave you guys the left leg last time. We'll bring out the right here.
Sheesh!
Not much left of the imagination there.
We still got the shorts, baby.
Very nice. Welcome to the stream, Evan. We love to have you. We love having you.
It's good to be back. I love being here. The Division 2 races are always a fun time. A lot of action on track as always. It's a pleasure to watch live, and to all you watching on YouTube later, also hello. Thanks for checking out the channel. Please subscribe and catch these on your own time. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, on that note, let's talk about the track for the week, Zandvoort. Evan, you got a little history lesson for us.
I do. Let me pull up my books here. Zandvoort was opened in August 1948. That makes it 73 years. Old but gold. Track is 4.3 kilometers long. It's about 2.6 miles for us in the U.S. There were plans for races at Zandvoort before World War II. The first street race was held in 1939. However, a permanent racetrack was not constructed until after World War II. Circuit gained popularity because of its fast sweeping corners such as Scheivlak, that's turn 7, as well as Tarzanbocht, aka the Tarzan corner, which is the hairpin turn 1 at the end of the start-finish straight. Tarzan is the most famous corner in the circuit. Since there is camber in the corner, it provides excellent overtaking opportunities. It is possible to pass around the outside as well as the easier inside lane. And as you can see on the track, we got 14 turns here, all of them very demanding. There's camber, off camber, up and down hills. It's going to be a tricky one tonight.
On top of making it tricky, we have a meteorologist report coming in here. Ollie, how's the weather looking like out there?
It's raining sideways.
Sounds rough, Ollie. Do you have an umbrella?
Had one.
Where is it?
Inside out, 2 miles away.
All right, well, you heard it there here first, folks. Ollie is not impressed with the conditions. It's looking like it's going to be really wet. How did you guys fare in this wet weather yesterday?
Let me tell you, two of my best performances come when I was in the wet. So, you know what I mean.
Okay. So it has started already. Okay. Evan, on a more serious note pertaining to vehicles and not other areas of performance, how did you do in the drive yesterday?
I had a good race. I qualified right behind you. Not exactly as high up as I think we both would have liked, but took advantage of some situations that happened in front of us, got a few freebies. Made a pass in the pit lane and ended up taking a top 10, so I'm more than happy. In the rain at this track, not very experienced in either, ended up in the top 10. I'm plenty happy with that.
Tyler, on a more serious note, you outqualified both Evan and myself, but got collected a couple times because of the circumstances throughout the race. Are you anticipating a lot of carnage on the track today?
Yeah, I am. So you're right. I had a great qualifying. The wetter it is, the faster I am. And throughout the race, I just had unfortunate luck. Got rear-ended a couple of times, and so I know that if we had that happen in our D1 race, I'm anticipating that happening in the M race. But you never know. Sometimes the D1 drivers can be really aggressive, and it's because they have pace and they know that they can push. But then you get down to some of the other divisions, and they take it a little bit more cautiously. They're wanting to finish. They're not wanting to wreck into people, and so we've seen some of our cleanest races actually happen in the wet. So this is going to be a toss-up on the mood of the drivers tonight.
I concur. It's going to be about who wants to push the envelope a little bit further. Speaking of our drivers, let's remind our audience of our current standings. After round 1 last week at Zolder, Dylan Ambrose is holding position 1. He had an absolute great race last week. Just looking at my notes from last week, he started from P8 in qualifying and ended up finishing the race in P1. In second is Josh Damiani. And he actually qualified on pole and then came home P2, so not bad. And then we have Eric Boardman, who's actually teammates with Dylan Ambrose. Again, really great duo there for the for Team Atreides. But you would go down the order. We have a lot of people that are hungry to facilitate a good race today and get back on into the podium figures here. This translates into our team standings. And like previously mentioned, Team Atreides in the Audi looking very rosy up at the top. Another Audi team slipping in P2. And then this will bring joy to Evan's ears. Bentley Boys Club thick in P3.
Let's go.
I would like to point out that if you're driving an Audi, you are in the top 8 teams. There is not an Audi below the 8th position. That's insane. That's insane how good that car was last week.
The Audi has gotten a huge BOP bump since last season, especially with this second iteration, the Evo 2, and then with BOP push for actual additional horsepower per the tracks. It's looking really comfortable at the front of the grid, and I've seen through just the different practice sessions that the Audi's looking pretty planted in the wet too, so I'm interested to see how they perform. Speaking of performance, let's get out on track and see how our guys are doing. So right off the bat here, we're looking at pole runner currently, Damiani, and he's got a session best 143.9. That's actually pretty fast. It's looking like these conditions are not as heavy as we're acclimated to yesterday.
Yeah, I'm really surprised.
43.9 is quick. Really quick.
That is quick. He's actually up over a second on the entire field. So that must have been a crazy good lap out of him. These guys don't have an answer for it just yet.
You know, the weather is going to get lighter as this qualifying session goes on. If we look up, in 10 minutes it's going to rain less, and then in 30 minutes it's going to rain even less. So it's not raining as hard. Track is progressing, and so Damiani going out in that first group, he needed to put in a flyer if he's going to qualify well, because you've got some fast guys that are going to be qualifying in the second half, and the track can evolve and get even faster, and they're going to have a really good shot at putting it on pole. So Damiani's motivated this season, and he knew that he needed to pull out a lap if he was going to be competitive this race.
In second place at the moment, we have Michael Scott, a great office reference. He's been putting in a lot of practice, and a lot of the drivers are up on their time. So to Tyler's point, the grid is going to get much faster as the rain kind of subsides. But that being said, these drivers in the first batch of qualifying here, the qualifying session for Division 2 is split into 2 groups. The first group is running out of time. At that 15-minute mark, they have to come in and finish their flying laps, and then the second batch of drivers go out. So these guys are definitely going to have to try and capitalize on the last bit of time that they have.
I want to call out Mr. Will Forsling jumping up to P5 after being in P18. I know that he has put in little practice around here, and that's pretty impressive pace for him to find. I think the track might also be progressing because a lot of people have green deltas at the moment.
Speaking of that, I'm looking at Astolfo here. Comes across the line 2.2 seconds up on his time. Puts him P2. Look at that.
Look at that. That was a quick one. We got another one. Michael Scott going from P4. He's up 4/10 right now. I think the game is giving everybody more traction. I think the game is saying, hey, the track is progressing. You're going to see people getting better and better. He's up 6/10. You know, he's going to see if he can get up there in, what, P2? P2 from Michael Scott. Wow. What a lap from him.
This is a good opportunity. Evan, can you walk us through as he turns into turn 1 what this lap looks like?
Got you down. Power out of that turn 1. Little kink. Oh,
he pulls over.
Well, there is a kink there. Decides not to take it and pulls into the pits. Must
Well,
have gotten a bad exit there.
We got Matt, who's on a flyer. If we want to hop on board with him.
I actually just hop on to Substitution. He is starting a lap now also.
We go turn 1, hard brakes, get it turned in, nice and clean there. Get the throttle down the best you can in these wet conditions. A little kink to the left into this right, up and over the crest, and hard down on the brakes. This hairpin is banked, so you can take a couple of different lines there. Decides to hang it out around the middle. Power out. Gonna take these S's here, which you want to keep the pedal down, but in these wet conditions, it might require just a little lift. Brake just before the hill and kind of trail it down to that apex there. Nicely done. And my least favorite part of the track, gotta clip that curb a little wide, almost hitting the grass. Get the car stopped. This turn is tight. Power down. We got another hard left-hander here. Tricky to judge where exactly to get on the throttle coming out. Seems like he did a great job there. Short little straight. Pick your braking point, get it down. No. Might have gotten on a little late there. Couldn't get the car turned while he was stopping. But
And that was his last attempt at going out, so we're going to have the second batch of drivers going. Anyone that you guys want to have me focus on as we start their session?
Well, the out laps are probably going to be pretty boring, but I think we can kind of evaluate the spread we've got going on right now. We got Damiani almost 6/10 clear of P2. That is some pace right there. Considering he put that lap in when the track wasn't even at its best. So love to see that raw pace. That Aston can handle the wet weather.
it really can. Out of all the front engine cars that I saw last night, the Aston seemed like they had the most planted car out there. Don't know what it is about that thing, but it could carry a lot more speed than I would have expected out of the front engine cars here.
Our season 0 champion drove the Aston last night in the wet, and he really liked it. And then one of our resident coaches and broadcasters, who's broadcasting the rookie race right now over on Twitch, Dominic Duran, did a stellar job last night in the wet with the Aston. So that's definitely a good car around here, especially in these slippery conditions. You know who I'm thinking might have a good shot this qualifying to put it on pole? We've got Curtis Lee. Okay, he's got some pace. Mr. Schaefer always has some pace. Obviously our race winner from last night, Dylan Ambrose. He's got a good shot at it. Let's see, am I missing anybody that just off of memory from our qualifying or from our practice sessions that I was like, you know what, they could do well. You know, really, I mean, as I look at this group, it's really about who's put in the work, who's practiced. I think that's gonna really shine here in quali. Who's joined multiple times, Evan, throughout the week and said, you know, let me practice when the server's soaking wet, when it's getting drier, you know, and in between. They'll probably do well.
Oh yeah, I didn't spend enough time in the practice server this week, so I don't know who has been grinding, but I fully agree. Getting a grip over various rain conditions, as we know, it can be anywhere from a slightly greasy track, almost entirely dry, into a flooded track with as much water as you can pour on the thing. So if you can get a feel for each condition and have sort of a game plan for what kind of lines and what kind of speed you can carry, that's going to be a huge advantage over those that haven't practiced as much, for sure.
And not to call you out, Evan, or anything, but you didn't qualify very well, and it showed that you didn't spend much time in the practice server because you're typically a speedy boy.
That's true. Yeah, I spent just a couple of laps early on last week and couldn't find much improvement. So I thought, I'm just gonna let the race just happen how it happens, and I'll take my medicine if it doesn't go right. But yeah, I ended up getting pretty lucky last night. No major incidents for me. I managed to squeeze past a bunch of guys and worked out fine. But yeah, and for being up at the top of the grid here in qualifying, it's going to take those practice hours, that's for sure. I would guess Damiani must have spent the week grinding for sure.
What does it say about me where I practiced a whole bunch all week, and then Evan qualifies right behind me and he only does a couple laps? What's that about?
Yeah, I hate to break this to you, Doug, but you're just slow. So
that sucks.
I don't know what else to tell you. How you've managed to bribe your way to 2 championships baffles me. Just so you're aware, Doug, we do have some fans in the chat that are going for Ambrose, Mr. Rowley, Mr. Guzman. Oh, the Guzmans, not just one Guzman. But yeah, it looks like James Riley needs a shout. Oh, and Clark Gold. All of them.
Lots of fans. I like that. I'm going to stop streaming my Discord so I can get some better frames, because I noticed we're dropping some frames a little bit. And
you can turn off your Skype face cam while we're not showing our faces, if you'd like. That'll also help.
I could do it. Look at you, we're just maximizing performance here. So, we're on board with Ambrose at the moment. He is a second and a half up, and he's currently in P18. Let's go on a lap with him, see how he fares, and then we'll go see the several people that you mentioned that the fans are looking for.
Oh, well, it also looks like we have some AM drivers hopping in and watching the live stream that they're racing in. I love it. They're giving themselves shout outs.
Yeah, pats on their own back. Not a bad situation. As we mentioned, that Ambrose crosses the line over and puts himself into P2.
Evan, are we going to see another repeat of last week where Damiani and Ambrose are battling it out in the top 2?
I'd love to see it. That was a lot of fun to watch last week, and I'd like to see another guy make it a 3-way battle if they can. I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah. Oh, okay. Backs out there.
Yeah, what was that? Is he coming up on a...
He was coming up on a back marker and just had to abandon his lap, unfortunately. I'm going to go down the grid here. I'm going to try and find someone. Crowd favorite you guys mentioned was Rally, correct?
Yeah, he's actually watching the stream.
Let's have him in his lime green McLaren set a lap for us. Currently 4 seconds shy of his best lap. I think he's just going to set up the next good one. Rally put on an absolute show last week. He was battling with Thomas Greer for almost the entire race. And Greer is not showing up this week because he has work early in the morning. So Rally is unhinged now. Just released. He can go and just wreak havoc on the rest of the grid.
His rival has gotten out of the way. Well, Rally needs to make sure that he's not typing in the chat while he's trying to set a hot lap, and maybe he'll do a little bit better.
That's a concept.
We're not all Mr. Evan Kim over here who can talk and drive at the same time. I mean, I would love to be able to do that, Evan.
The skill issue, I guess.
I think it's a brain issue. I think you just got so much more brain power than I do.
Tyler's not good at multitasking when it comes to racing. It's just not a good situation.
Oh. Well, Justin Rally is in the server. James Riley is the one commenting in the chat. I'm sorry.
So, like we talked about multitasking, he's talking and commentating race, and he can't read names.
No. Do you remember what I said about brain power? Yeah. I have none. So when it comes to words, it's hard that I can,
Yeah.
can't even speak. Oh,
We saw Justin Raleigh just
the
took
curb.
flight.
James over there almost had the win yesterday, but I think he had an off track. James Riley, he was battling Matt Lehman, our other resident alien. I think he was leading for a good portion.
They were trading places for quite a while, and then it's just the race of attrition kind of bit him. And I'm looking forward to next week, seeing how he can stack up against the top dogs.
The chat is pointing out something, and I don't think we've called it out. And that's how good BBC's perform in the wet. The BBC team has put a lot of R&D into wet setups, and so I think they could do really well tonight.
I hope so. I've been in the BBC chat, kind of checking on the guys, and they've been putting in plenty of practice, unlike myself, and tweaking the setups that we've been working on. I think they found a nice little sweet spot for them and have a lot of confidence coming in tonight. I would like to see these guys do well here.
Well, we're riding on board with Curtis now.
Go ahead, Doug.
I was just going to say, riding along with Curtis now, a member of the aforementioned BBC team, a person who gets to benefit from the teachings of Evan Kim. Let's see how he fares.
One thing I wanted to call out is now P2 through P5 are all occupied by drivers that have come out in the second half of qualifying. So it looks like the track might be progressing, but it's not to the point where it's just you have an automatic pace advantage, because the rest of the people who come out in the second half of qualifying are sprinkled throughout the session, or sprinkled throughout the leaderboard. So we'll see how it all ends up shaking out. Though, one thing that's surprising is Carlos Guzman. He's 13 seconds off of the best. Like, what? That doesn't sound right. The Guzmans are quick. He must not have set a valid lap yet.
Doesn't have much time to correct that. You're less than 4 minutes to go. He's gonna have to put something together.
He'll get 3 laps, it looks like, because he just started 1. Let's see who else is. Anybody improving their time? Mr. Gardner could put it on pole. Oh no! As soon as I went on board with him, he lost his advantage. He's only a 10th off of Damiani. Did Damiani put it on pole last week?
He did. He did. Gardner was he was in P5. He finished P5 last week, so it's not a surprise to see him chomping at the bit here in qualifying, really making his presence known with his pace. He's just hanging around that pole lap time. If he just puts one solid lap together where he links all the pieces, it's his to have. What I like to see, though, is Constantine in P3 in the Ferrari. The Ferrari is tough to drive in the wet from my memory, and he's improving on his time right now, and he's only a 10th and a half off of pole also.
Yeah,
I remember,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I remember in the practice race, I think he had a little unlucky moment in lap 1, but outside of that, his pace was actually incredible. Constantine, he took some damage early, but finished the race really strong. So I think his results in the practice race didn't really show his pace, and he might be coming out here flexing now that we're in this quality session with no other drivers around.
Carlos Guzman has put in his first real valid lap, and he moved himself up to P18. So not surprised to see that he's him being in P36 was a shocker. Mr. Dylan Ambrose is going for pole. He's improving on his time through the first sector. But really, I think the tricky part of the track is the second and third sector. So I'm sure there's time to be made up there. And he's making it too. He's currently on pace for pole. Constantine as well is on pace for pole. Oh.
Ambrose had to back out a little bit because there was a Ferrari right in his way. It might have been.
Well,
It was Constantine's teammate Damian Martinez. It looked like. Maybe some team orders there.
Do we have a Fernando Alonso situation where you bin it so that way you slow down the guys behind? And
I've heard of crazier things. All right, Ambrose is going to have one more shot across the line here with 17 seconds left in the session. He's going to be able to mount one more push lap.
I'm really shocked at how we have not seen. Oh, Ambrose is backing out.
Yeah, he just totally backed out.
No fuel. No fuel. They did not get their fuel right.
Well, let's switch over to someone who does have fuel. Rimzik, he's in P5. Gardner's looking really good too. Rimzik is in P5 and he has improved on his lap.
Well, he just started his lap.
Yeah, he's up two. Well, he was up 2/10 in the first sector.
Mr. Michael Scott's over almost half a second. We got guys. Do not turn away. The top 4 or 5 positions could change here. I am shocked the track did not progress. I'm really, really surprised it did not get significantly faster. I mean, last night, it's like a switch was flipped, and all of a sudden everybody got 4/10 more out of their laps. It was insane. Mr. Dave, Super Dave go to Super Dave. He is on track to put it on pole. He's up 9/10, which would put him 2/10 ahead of pole. Let's see.
Oh, he loses a few tenths in the last corner. Let's see if he can mount it together. Come on. He gets another 10th.
He is close. He's just shy of pole. He's gonna put on P2. P2 for Super Dave.
That was a super lap, Super Dave.
Oh, he had pole in the bag, but just lost it. And that will be your qualifying orders. We have Damiani, Dave, Gardner, Constantine, Ambrose, Gold, Rimzik, Astolfo. Hope I'm saying that. Scott, Astolfo. Oh, Astolfo. Scott and Schaefer rounds out your top 10.
All right. I need to turn on my webcam again. Hey, everybody. While I come over here. Click drive a second time.
Crack open a cold one.
There you go. So, what's the consensus here? Are you surprised Damiani put it on pole 2 weeks in a row?
Not necessarily. He's a fast driver, drives really well, assuming he doesn't get caught up in some mess outside of his control. I'll say that.
Yep.
He's notorious for having bad luck.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it won't surprise me if he qualifies on pole every race. It will surprise me if he makes it through lap 1 every race.
There you go.
That is unfortunate.
Doug, what'd you do with the graphics? Now I'm like...
I switched back over to the race because the Skype cameras wanted to have a mind of their own and start going all over the place, and it just wasn't a good look. Wasn't a good look.
Well, sorry everybody at home. I know you were dying to see Doug's beautiful face and Evan's pretty legs.
I think what you meant to say was they're dying because they're seeing my face. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that we're not taking more casualties. Do we have any predictions in the chat as to who's going to win today's race?
Yeah, who's gonna win today's race? Let's see. Can I start a poll in the chat?
That'd be pretty neat.
I don't know how to start a poll. Let's see. Well, if you're in the chat, throw out who you think's gonna win. I got Dahi saying 777 is the unluckiest number. Create a poll. There we go. I got it. Will Damiani make it through lap 1? All right, boys. There is a poll up in the chat. Will Damiani make it through lap 1? Make sure you vote. I've got people saying...
Oh no. Eduardo Rodriguez forgot to hit drive, and he's starting from the pit lane.
Oh, come on.
I was going through the grid. He was qualified P28. Right by Roger Rodriguez. They could have had a Rodriguez battle at the beginning, and now it's just been compromised. The people needed to see which Rodriguez would come out on top. No longer.
All right, we've got some money on Michael Scott. So Michael Jeffries, if Michael Scott wins, I expect a $2 donation to the league. You said you got $2 on him. So let's see. Jaworski, we got a call out for Jaworski. Call sign Jaws. Let's see. We've got 12 votes in our poll, and I am sad to say, as of right now, it is looking like the chat does not have faith in Damiani making it through lap 1.
Yikes. More sad news. Curtis Lee starting from the pit lane.
No. Curtis.
Oh,
You hate to see it.
not my boy.
You hate to see it.
You know, he's going to be someone I think we need to watch throughout this race. Watch him cut through the field. Because, yeah. Oh, Carlos Eduardo Rodriguez says, "Rip myself. I was lowering my audio volume." He didn't hit drive because he was turning down the volume. This is pre-race procedure stuff you got to have, like, ironed out. You got to be ready. Got to be ready.
Yep. There's some things that you can't avoid, like internet failure or mechanical failure, but changing your in-game settings, come on now, Rodriguez, you got to get that set up, man.
That stuff needs to be dialed in before you even join the server. That's weekly practice stuff.
Yep.
So the chat is taking that 2 people are starting from the pit lanes, that now Damiani might make it through lap 1. They're kind of changing their vibe a little bit. No,
the ratio of drivers to risk is decreased, is that it?
I mean, I don't know. And that's the only reason I can see why they have changed their thoughts. But we'll go ahead and end the poll, and it looks like 53% said no, he will not make it through the.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just disrespectful.
Yeah.
What I can tell you is you're looking right now as they roll up to the start-finish straight here. The water on the windshield is just brutal. The mist is going to be blinding. But we're getting ready to go, boys.
I cannot wait. Doug, can you stream your race again?
Green, green, green. We are away. I'll do that here momentarily. Already around.
Oh boy, that Ferrari came in like a missile.
The leaders are away clean. They're racing side by side, but it is clean. The grid is bunching up behind, going too wide through sections here. A little bit of bumping and grinding. Everybody play nice.
I didn't see what the initial incident was, but it's looking pretty clean in the midfield right now. Coming up to another accordion section. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, some drivers are getting squirrely. But they're doing well.
Holmes with a drive-through penalty for probably being out of position on the start. That's 3 drivers caught out with just penalties.
Caught Kyle Martin spinning in that tricky section. The Porsche gets caught up to. Oh,
I
no,
see
Kyle.
that. I'm going to catch a replay, Kyle.
Oh, he got hit. He got hit from behind
By
one of the Porsches.
Looks like he was about to plow into the Alex Daniel ahead and backed out.
That's Will Forsling.
Oh, Will Forsling, okay.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Kyle. He just got hit by the Porsche behind, and then he hit the front bumper when he was trying to turn his car around, which is gonna really ruin his aero.
He slammed that thing pretty good there.
Hop on board with Fickert. They've got a battle going on. They're going side by side.
Oh, they're side by side right now down the main straight.
Is that Carlos Guzman? Who's that? No, that's
oh my goodness! It get collected.
Doug, can you stream your race so we can see who you have on board with?
Working on it.
Oh, Will Forsling got cut. No, that was Tyrell Foster who collected Will Forsling at the end of the final lap. He collected a couple of people, including some members from the B team. Who is that Audi team?
Is that the Flying Cadets?
Flying Cadets. Thank you. Evan's got a battle going on his side, on his stream. If you look in the picture-in-picture, everybody. Who is that? Is that Rimzik leading the gold? Astolfo, Martinez, Scott, and I'm gonna struggle. Sobo.
Oh, Subchition.
Can someone help me out?
Subchition.
Thank you.
Subchition. Yeah, I had to ask him personally how to pronounce this. I apologized last week when having to butcher it, and he corrected me promptly in Discord. So thank you for that.
Michael Scott going side by side.
We have an incident here between Jaworski. So another BBC being called out. Jaworski and Fickert, it looks like. Oh, Fickert just comes in and collects Jaworski on the corner there. They both make it their way out.
Michael Scott got a little tap in the rear end from I can't remember his name. What?
Subchition.
Brandon. I'm going to call him Brandon.
I called him the Honda. We have Rimzik. Rimzik has a moment too. He was sitting in P5, I think. Yeah, he just has an off. Collects the grass, comes across. Oh my goodness.
Who avoided that? That was some. Is that Tony Parenza? That looked like purple car.
No, I think it was Gould.
Another Ferrari going off. Oh my goodness.
This is.
Oh, and then they're turning around at Tarzan. Oh, there's like a traffic jam at Tarzan.
Absolutely horrible.
No, that's not Tarzan. That's turn 4. Turn 3.
We got the view here. Ferrari off on the left. Accordion. Lambo around. Lambo collected by Subchition. And the Mercedes goes around. Oh, man. And other cars trying to avoid them as they pass.
Oh my goodness. The Rimzik, Scott, and Brandon battle is still feisty. These guys are going for it.
G-Tesh has an off also. I'm going to hang on here because it's looking like this one's the spiciest battle on track at the moment. Evan, can you give us a breakdown of who our leaders are and how they are doing?
Yeah, Damiani's off to a hot start. Got a 2-second gap over Gardner, although Gardner is holding that purple lap on the timetables. Got Ambrose, Dave, Constantine, Gold, Rimzik, Scott, Subchition, Hartman. Top 10 all spread out a little bit. All the action is happening behind these this pack you're watching here with Scott, Subchition, and Hartman.
So, to risk commentator's curse, I want to prove the chat wrong that Damiani made it through lap 1 and is pulling a gap. So I just want to say I voted he will make it through lap 1, so I had faith.
You also are the winner of $2, is that right?
No. That's if Super Dave wins, I think is what Jeffries was.
I'm just
At least
thirsty for those $2.
Yeah, I'm giving him an out. I'm giving Jeffries an out, but, you know.
That's fair. Subchition all over the back of Scott. All over it. And then that's Rimzik in front. The race is starting to settle in now.
Oh, did Sadit just have an off? Let me see.
He did. He lost it in turn 1. It wasn't too bad. He got on track pretty quick, but there was a grouping behind him that slipped past.
Martinez is right behind Anderson. Evan, can you catch that?
Martinez
P14.
got you down.
Haunting him down.
You know, we're seeing quite a train in the back. For Miguel is leading a train, followed by Fickert, Rodriguez, Kovac, Ruzik, Matt, Sadit, Foster. That is quite a group of drivers that are all within a second of each other.
Looking back at the top two, Damiani's now got nearly a 4-second gap on P2.
Well, Ambrose is hawking down P2. Gardner is better get a move on and either try to catch up with Damiani so he can fend off Dylan behind him.
I'm going to go cover the top 3 as Subchition, Scott, and Rimzik continue their battle. It looks like Scott's looking to put a move in. But they're just following nicely. Proenza gets past Hartman, it looks like.
Hartman just, Hartman went a little bit long, and Proenza just stuck it right down the inside for the overtake.
And here's your fight for P2. Ambrose.
That has gotten really close, yeah.
Yeah,
Dylan's
Ambrose hawking down Gardner. The battle of the Audis.
Evan, who do you have in the picture-in-picture?
Looking at Dominic Jaworski was coming up there on driver ahead. He's pulling away now. That's Carlos Guzman in the pink Audi, but now Jaws is dealing with Louis Formigel from behind in that Ferrari, who I saw it in the free practice before the race was cooking. So we know he's got pace. He might have something cooking on Jaworski here.
I'll keep an eye out on P7, 8, and 9, which is Rimzik, Scott, and Brandon. They're all within a second, and I'll let you know if anything happens there. And I'll let you guys know if you need to switch to it.
Gardner has been able to build a little bit of a gap against Ambrose again, so we're going to hop back to the battle for Rimzik, Scott, and Subchition.
Yeah, you might want to go to the helicopter cam to see these guys. You'll get them all in frame. And oh wait, what happened to Brandon? And Brandon dropped off a little bit. He must have had a little bit of a mistake.
Driving this close in these conditions is tough to follow for that long. Even a slight foot wrong can send you off into the grass. But Michael Scott is keeping Rimzik honest. Been on his bumper less than half a second for several laps in a row now.
So, Mr. Rimzik, one of the few drivers who's attended every SRA race ever. So this man has experience.
You had to talk to him. You had to talk about him. Every race.
All right. New strategy. I'm talking trash about all the drivers. I'm gonna say they're garbage. They make mistakes, and only point out their bad qualities. And then hopefully they will keep it on track.
Well, now he has to worry about Proenza contesting with him. Proenza is hawking him down too. Dirty tires of Rimzik are going to be suffering at the moment. Yeah, Proenza gets a mad dash past him. That looked too easy.
I am so sorry, Rimzik.
That's okay. Just, lick your wounds. Keep pushing. It's a long race ahead. 49 minutes left. And there's still, a mandatory pit stop at required. Just a little bit behind, we have Hartman leading a little train with Cranky and Anderson behind. So Anderson has lost a few positions, but that's okay. Down into the braking zone. Paul A. Hartman is going to be fearing the people behind. Honda looks great on the brakes. Cars looming in the background. You can see they're so close that you can see the dancing egg on his hood.
That's a great angle right there. That's awesome. Seeing all three cars right there on his tail.
The inverse is going to Anderson and seeing the accordion here from the back.
Which is a fun angle to see because then you can really see. Oh, there's the car behind just went off. Mr. Martinez just went wide in that corner behind this group. So that's how he lost a position. Mr. Jaws is still on the tail of Carlos Guzman and being pressured by Formigal behind. Man, they've got a train from P. Oh! Who's that? Martinez just went off in the Ferrari.
There was a huge train that he was in. Let's see if it had to do with someone getting punted. No, he just had a moment.
Yeah,
oh, and then he got out of the way just in time. There were 4 or 5 cars coming in hot.
Boys, Hartman, Krinkle, and Anderson have got a battle still going on. You might want to jump back on board.
We're back. We're back.
Oh, the Lambo just about lost it.
Evan, it looks like someone just punted. You're the person in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a punt or...
Oh, speaking of punts!
No! Oh, no! No! You hate to see it!
Oh, no!
Paulie gets bumped
so good
by the Honda behind.
Long.
Landon returns a position. He realized he made a mistake. Oh. Paulie, listen. I got rear-ended by a Honda last night too. And I was in a McLaren. I feel your pain.
It hurts. It hurts. Anderson, the big winner out of all that, he just got to sneak through, and he just got past Astolfo also. He's taking no prisoners.
I do want to say the SRA does have the fastest paper salesman in North America. Michael Scott currently holding fastest lap with a 1:46.2. That's a pretty respectable race pace right now.
We're 7 laps in, and his fastest lap is looking comfortably ahead of those around him.
There is a Jaws train in the back of the grid. We've got Carlos Guzman who's going to get past him as I say that. Oh, and then that is bringing in Dustin Fickert and, oh my goodness, there are 4 cars all going into this one corner. We had 2 overtakes happen just right there. We had Mr. Guzman getting past Jaws, and then we had Dustin Fickert getting past Louis Formigal. So, and then they're all still within a second of each other, so these positions could change again.
Carlos leading this train.
Oh! Someone's getting a little loose in the back.
Evan caught a little off there.
Again. Yeah, I noticed he had some front end damage on that McLaren, and as we all know, that car needs everything it's got for aero.
That was a dive right there.
Jaworski goes way too long, and now he's going to get swallowed up by several cars.
He lost another position to Dustin Fickert.
Yes, he did, and now people are chomping at the bit to get past him also as he scrambles to get back into sense of things. Formigal right behind, nearly pushing him through the corner.
Formigal's got that livery that looks like it should be on a real race car. I mean, gosh, that livery looks good. Oof. I need to not talk good about him because he's going to make a mistake if I say anything else nice. So.
Well, this is what he's looking at right now. Yeah, Jaworski's struggling right now. Maybe his tires are dirty. Maybe he has a little bit of aero damage. Formigal's carrying a lot more speed through these corners.
Or maybe it's one of those situations where you know you're under pressure and the nerves just get to you.
That very well could be it too.
I wouldn't know anything about that, but I know some other drivers might have that happen.
Good to know.
Hey, it's everybody. Doesn't matter your age. I've heard it's normal. But pressure is just too much sometimes.
These cars are swarming. All within 0.3 of each other as they go side by side.
The Ferrari behind might try to put a move on him. No.
They file back in, but Jaworski's taking some really defensive lines in the wet that could be very sketchy because it's not necessarily the dry line.
He just lost his rear end a little bit, and that is going to open the door.
Formigle's got a huge run. Who's going to be braver on the brakes in this wet weather? Jaworski closes the door a little bit. As we see a BBC off.
That was all clean. Oh boy. Oh,
That
wow.
was very tight margin there. Oh, Formigle jets a tire off.
What is going on? This is incredible. Holy God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars, like bumper to bumper. This is exciting. How can you not watch this with like a smile on your face? Like, oh my gosh.
I just noticed my face kind of hurts from smiling this whole time. It's been 18 minutes of face pain.
Pure bliss. Jaworski is thanking everybody for battling as he tries to get away from this crowd. But he has a little...
Oh no, I saw that coming.
Oh.
No, the McLaren bumped him. Rodriguez gave a little bump to Dustin. Was that Dustin?
Yep.
Yep. And then that opened the door for the Ferrari.
Martinez is going to get past him, but Dustin does have the braking zone here.
Yep, he's going to fight back. He's got the insides. Let's see if they leave room. Is anybody going to back out?
Oh, he's braking in the really wet section. Oh, nice move, though.
Oh, wow.
Really,
what car control? Wow.
really respectful racing there.
Yes, Dustin lost some time, but I don't think he lost any positions. So let's see if he can chase down Formiggle and bring this train back to, you know. Oh no! He's got
Oh my goodness!
Gosh!
This Ferrari says, "Get out of my way."
Dustin he's put on a clinic with car control. He's getting contacted. He's got. Oh my gosh! No way! That was a sin.
Oh boy.
What a sin from the Ferrari.
Dustin loses 2 positions for it.
That was... Dustin, keep a level head and come back at these guys, because I know that's got to make you mad. Oh, what? Oh, and he's struggling with some traction a little bit. Wow. Wow. Parenza is also on the tail, and just to give you guys an update up front, Parenza is on the tail of Michael Scott.
That's what Evan's covering in the PIP right now. Dustin's going at this Porsche here. He's got the inside. Oh, yeah, he snags it right back. Kovac gets eaten up in that slow braking zone there.
Kyle Martin lost his rear end in turn 4. He's having a hard time. I don't know if he got punted or what, but he's having a hard time getting this car going.
Rodriguez able to sneak through for Kovac right there in the blue McLaren.
Gold just lost in the last corner.
I'll catch a replay here. This last corner is deceiving. It's banked, but not enough to carry all that momentum. Yeah, he just loses the rear end, slams the wall. He's going to have to nurse that. No, he has to nurse that for the next 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes until pit window.
Michael just lost a couple of positions. What happened there?
Not certain here. Yeah, he's having a rough bit of it. Let's go back here. He was battling with Rodriguez, Kovac. Not sure. I think I missed it.
Yeah, we might have missed it.
That's okay, though.
give everybody an update. Josh Damiani now has his fastest time in the 40-0, and a lead of 1.5 seconds. So the gap is closed. Gardner and Ambrose are closing in on Damiani. But they have put in a gap between Super Dave, which means I'm not going to get my $2, most likely, if it continues like this. But we still have 38 minutes left in the race, so my $2 are still out there to be had.
Damiani has messed up pit strategies many a time. Hopefully he can dial it in this time around. As we see Ambrose going at him. Oh my goodness, Ambrose goes way off. A little bit too ambitious going for the move on Gardner. Has an absolute moment. Now Super Dave, or whoever that green McLaren is, was going in for it. Might have been a back marker. Good save from Ambrose, all things considered, but definitely loses a huge amount of pace on Gardner, who gets to drive away scot-free. Speaking of Scots, we have Constantine on Super Dave, and Michael Scott's a little bit further behind. Constantine putting the pressure on Super Dave. The spray on the windshield is insane.
That alone makes you nervous.
Super Dave goes wide. The gap closes further.
I want to say Rimzik, Anderson, and Brandon. No.
Astolfo.
Astolfo. Raphael. They are back in a three-way battle again.
These
not
guys.
Sure who we have. Picture.
Yeah, on board with Anderson. And he is in between a Rimzik and a Astolfo sandwich. I think we made this observation last week, but there's only a few front-engine cars in this grid. A lot of these mid-engine cars filling the whole grid.
What? It's just the Bentley and the Aston, I think.
There's a couple Mercs, but yeah, everything.
Yeah, 2 Mercs.
A lot of these mid-engine cars looking skittish in the rain.
What is it they say about the rain? That, like, it's the great equalizer? I don't know about that in a video game, but it definitely does show car control.
No kidding. Rimzik does go a little wide, but the gaps stay the same.
Alrighty, boys, so we've got 1 minute till the pit window opens. I think we're going to see some of these trains break up because you're going to see some drivers that are like, I'm tired of driving this close to someone. Oh my gosh, they are so close.
2/10 at that margin.
Holy crap. I mean, that's so exciting. I mean, being in that type of a battle is what gets you hooked on sim racing right there. When you're driving lap after lap, bumper to bumper, and you know the driver behind you is going to give you respect, and the driver in front of you is driving predictably, like, that's the best.
Speaking of respectful driving, it looks like Fickert's alongside. Is that Rally, Evan?
No, this is Curtis Lee actually behind
Curtis.
Rally and Tyrell Foster.
Got it. They were driving neck and neck.
Yeah, I did catch Fickert in turn 1 just before going off into the gravel, and I think he lost his spot after putting on a show for us there for a while. But yeah, this is the second BBC driver, Curtis Lee, who started from the pit lane, if you can remember, and he's found his way up to P26. So
that's awesome.
Cutting up the field is it's working out for him, like we predicted earlier. He's still got plenty of positions left on the table ahead with half the race here left to go.
Eduardo Rodriguez also started in the pits, and he's in P28. Oh no! Oh, a trifecta!
Oh boy! Doug, why would you say something? This is your fault. I'm blaming you.
This is not my fault.
Oh my gosh!
We're going back. We're gonna see it all unfold. Rimzik has a moment, collects the Trinity.
Collect both of them.
And no one elects to go in the pits?
Rimzik is gonna go. Rimsick is going
Okay,
to the pits right now.
good. The other two drivers should have went right in.
There's a traffic jam in the pit lane now.
I gotta catch that. Oh my, Rimsick's car is messed up.
Go to the helicopter.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
You hate to see it. This is where races start to get a little bit sloppy. People are reeling from other incidents.
Yeah, that was Doug's fault. I'm sorry, Rimsick. Doug had to say something.
Commentators curse alive and well, week in and week out. Oh, we're skipping over here to Anderson. Anderson and Astolfo back at it again after their little pirouettes together. Rodriguez has a moment too. Rodriguez.
Ambrose, fastest lap. Just want to call that out. And he's 2 tenths off of Mr. Gardner. They're battling right now for P2.
I'm there.
And they are 4 seconds behind Damiani. So Damiani's pulled up another gap. You know, I think Damiani's motivated this season. He says, I'm gonna be racing in the pros next year.
Speaking of motivated, Ambrose lost like 3 or 4 seconds with his little off when he attacked Gardner last time. And again, he's having more problems falling behind. It's hard to follow in the rain.
Oh, what just happened here? Hartman just had an incident with... Was it someone coming out of the pit lane? Go back to Hartman and catch a replay.
Oh, his car is messed up.
Oh, it was someone coming out of the pits.
Oh, my goodness.
What is that? Is that Kyle or is that Tony?
Tony is in the black Merc. That was Kyle Martin coming across the track, and Paul just hammering him. Oh, his hood is bouncing. As Evan said weeks prior, bounce it. Bounce it. But,
oh, I just caught Sadat. Oh, I think he got distracted by the, was that Kyle Martin on the track?
Kyle's trying to get back to going.
Oh, boy.
give us a replay. Give us a replay.
Did you just call it quits at some point? Oh, Kyle. Oh, no, he's losing it.
Sadat has another moment off. His car's probably hurting right now as Curtis gets past him.
Kyle Martin has retired the car. He has retired.
Rest in peace.
Not surprised there. He got blanked coming out the pits.
It was clobbering time.
He had a lap 1 incident that wasn't his fault. So his car has been damaged from lap 1. So
Rest in peace, Kyle Martin. There's always next week.
Dylan Ambrose is on Gardner.
On it.
And it is tight. Oh my gosh, look at this. When is one of them just going to say, you know what, I'm going to go into the pits? I think Dylan's got to make that call soon because he keeps getting slowed. You got drivers in front now.
Oh, this is bad news. This is bad news.
Yep.
P2 and P3 this aggressively racing. You have back markers. Yep. This is Ambrose's moment right here. Blue flag back out.
You gotta back out, 264. You gotta back out. There you go.
Yeah, he's got to try to do the opposite of whatever happens in front here for sure.
If I'm Ambrose, I'm getting. Oh!
That's what I'm saying, man. You gotta learn. So there's an art to being a blue flag, so that way you don't wreck your own race or wreck the race in front of you or behind you. And it's you need to know when it's like, okay, I just need to let the guys through and do it safely.
Yeah, get in the pit lane now. Ambrose is released. He's gonna be screaming up the track. Gardner goes in and says, "I'm gonna diminish my risk of being attacked this much."
Well, let's watch somebody else. Let's not watch his whole pit.
Yep, getting on. Astolfo still attacking here. As for Miguel in front. And 2 Porsches are duking it out. P20 and P21, Evan.
And Yeah, Dustin Fickard is battling Carlos Guzman. I mean, we got some battles on track. That is for sure.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most exciting pit windows I've seen in a long time.
Evan's looking at Ruzic and Kovac. They're teammates, so hopefully they respect each other's team orders and not take each other out. Following this closely as teammates, I can attest with driving with Tyler, it can get hairy sometimes.
Evan, do you guys have team orders in BBC?
No, usually we're not too close on track together, but if it did come down to it, we are in the same channel and have voice comms together, so at any moment's notice, we're able to call something out for each other and strategize.
We always work as a team, so if we're Eiffel Towering a car, or if we're, you know, back to back doing elephant walking, whatever it is, we're right there with eye contact, through the entire process.
I didn't sign up for this, Evan. I didn't. This is non-consensual. Speaking of non-consensual,
yeah, do you see that?
Yeah, they're going to town. But speaking of non-consensual, BBC of Fickard is up the butt of Guzman.
Wait, one of the Porsche just lost the rear end. They're going side by side to the last corner.
Okay, somebody's got to give.
This is not good teammate stuff.
Somebody's got to go into pits. Oh, they're going to keep that. Wow.
That is, someone needs to have a talk with these guys and say, maybe it's not the best strategy to battle each other this hard. I like the enthusiasm, though. Fickard up to P9, chasing Carlos Guzman. Fickard has nearly a second faster lap time in terms of a best lap than Guzman.
Hey, chat. Is my mic still breaking up really bad? Someone is saying I'm having mic issues.
Oh.
Please fix the sound. Yes, it's me. Doug, if I back out and come back in, will that mess up any of your...
You're fine.
Alrighty. I'll be right back.
Oh, God. Thank goodness he's gone.
Nice to have a little break here, thank goodness.
Yeah, when your boss steps out. Carlos goes into the pits, relieves himself of the battle, back out on track. Kovac has found himself chasing down the McLaren of Rodriguez. And in front of that is Rally.
I am back, chat. Can you let me know, am I still breaking up? If I am still breaking up, I might just dip out of this race. They all said it sounded better right before I left. Of course, that's what happened. Yep, it's sounding better. Okay, yep.
Oh, boo. You guys need to tell him to leave.
Yeah, you guys had your one shot to get me out of the waking up again. I can't tell if he's being serious, but
you sound fine to me.
Yeah, it's good to hear in the booth.
I'm wondering if it's the audio software, Doug, or something along those lines.
Oh boy.
Oh, collection down in the picture-in-picture.
Little madness there. Rimzik and Ruzic both getting caught up.
Rimzik needs to get back on.
Okay. I'm signing off, boys. They're saying I'm still breaking up.
Tyler, absolute pleasure.
It's both Tyler and Evan.
It's probably just my computer, yeah. My computer's struggling, boys.
Window is closing now.
Damn, that potato CPU needs to get upgraded.
Yeah, I can't wait to spend SRA money to upgrade my motherboard and my CPU.
Doug, can you go back out of Skype? Let's just end the Skype call. That's one thing.
Deal.
If you have the stream going up in the background, go ahead and turn that off. If you have YouTube up or whatever. Close any programs that are not needed.
Got it.
I agree, boys. Let's take Doug out of the booth.
Excuse me?
How the turntables.
Joke's on them. I'm running this thing.
Sounds good now. I think that was it, Doug.
Yeah, my computer's just a potato.
Yeah.
Well, the audience
Boys,
doesn't know that there's a lot
any
behind the scenes here.
If you have any superior vegetables that you can send to Doug,
Evan and I are
I'll
on the
send you his
same
address
wavelength.
and the DM. All right, let's get back to the racing. Technical issues are fixed
At bay for
for
now.
now.
Kovac is
They're
tasting
saying
down
so much better.
Rodriguez. Yeah, I just asking a little bit too much of my little CPU.
I am getting DMs in the chat. Let's see here. Kyle Martin saying, I am so sorry about the collision coming out of the pits. My TC went from 8 to 0, so he lost all traction control.
Yikes.
He tried to avoid the collision, and he just wanted to sincerely apologize on stream. So I can absolutely feel that, Kyle.
Kyle, we really appreciate your
Thanks, Evan.
apology, and we will take that in consideration on your ban application.
What a dick! What a dick!
I'm kidding. Kovac gets past Rodriguez. As Rodriguez has a little bit of a moment. He needs to collect himself, get back out there. Holmes and Eduardo Rodriguez battling. Eduardo going around, respectful. He does have the inside for the next turn. Oh no, Eduardo has a slide. Holmes gets by unscathed just enough. Foster escapes through also. Rimzik back in the battle also. We keep following these battles and they just, as I come on Rimzik, he almost goes off track again. But we're getting a lot of these battles and someone makes a mistake and the gap just evaporates.
Hey, Doug, you'll have to let us know who you are on so that we can also commentate.
Yeah, I got you. I'm on Rimzik now. Rimzik is following Ruzik. He almost collects him.
Oh! Yeah. He just went off.
And that is a back marker behind him, so he's not fighting for position there. Oh, he's getting dangerously close.
Ruzik is feeling the pressure. I just want to say that now that the pit window is closed, Damiani has pulled an 11-second gap to Gardner. Wow. 12-second gap, I'm sorry. Oh, and they're going side by side, Rimzik and Ruzik. Rimzik is saying, I'm going to hold this line. Let's see what happens. Ruzik's got the ideal line right here. Oh, but
he
hits the curb. Will Forsling right behind him's got the perfect view of this battle. He moves over to let Jaws see if he can close up and get in on this action.
Rimzik has been struggling out of this final corner. Let's see what he can manage this lap. Get a good run.
He let off right there, yeah. But Jaws is right behind him now. They both go wide.
The Porsche is a
Jaws.
dog on the straights, though. The McLaren hawking him down. Oh.
Oh, he's going side by side. Let's see if he can get him here. He's got the inside line now. Rimzik is going to put the move on Ruzik, and he gets it done, and they get a little tap.
And now
I thought he got
Jaworski's
it
in
done.
the mix. He got it done. But Jaworski's in the mix now.
He's not
Oh.
finished yet. Oh, he's got it. I guess he's got it done now, but it was not finished. Oh, Jaworski is on his tail now. Ruzik going wide, letting Jaworski know.
Oh no, I caught that in the background.
Ruzik came down on Jaworski. Oh man. Jaworski and Ruzick both end up losing a couple of positions right there.
Jaworski comes out worse. He plows that tire barrier head on.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Definitely going to have some damage there.
Switching off that carnage. Rodriguez is attacking Kovac now. You got the picture-in-picture of the hood cam of this. Oh my goodness! Kovac takes the absolute gentleman's curse there. He says, do I come across the track and take out a competitor, or do I take myself out? And he does so. Does he manage to get back on? He does, but now he's under attack a second time. That might be a back marker. Who is that? Not sure, but now we have Carlos Guzman under attack from Gould. See all the Pepes on the wing here.
Ruzick is going into the pits to repair. Super Dave getting passed by Michael Scott. So Michael Jeffries tried backing out of the bet in the chat and saying, "Oh no, I picked Michael Scott, not Super Dave." But Michael Scott just passed Super Dave, so now Michael Scott is looking like he could reel it in and maybe win this thing.
You know what we do to people who back out of bets in SRA? We bust their kneecaps. I mean, what?
Hey,
This isn't Vegas.
Michael Jeffries, when you can't log into the Discord anymore, don't ask what happened. You should just already know.
We have IT people. We know where you live. We got IP addresses on lock.
Wait, he is one of our IT people. Wait, hold on a second. We got Dylan Ambrose, who is still on Gardner's tail. Dylan's holding fastest lap, so he's got that extra point. But he's close. Damiani, 11-second gap. I mean, let's be real. It is Damiani's race to lose. With that much time, he could lose almost a second every minute this race and still win. So let's just have him keep doing what he's doing, and he'll easily clear into P1.
Ambrose flirting with a second gap, and Gould is attacking Guzman. We're back on. Four tenths behind Guzman. There have been battles this entire race. And it looks like Evans on Damian Martinez attacking Ruzick. They're right on top of each other.
Ruzick's been in the middle of multiple cars for, it feels like, the entire race. We've caught him on camera a lot. And, yeah, Martinez trying to hang it around the outside of him here.
Ruzick would probably prefer to be having a quieter race than what he's experiencing right now.
Absolutely.
"15 minutes left in the race, guys. This race already feels like it's gone on forever. How do you think that the mental strain is right now?"
This is the moment last time. Oh, as we see Ruzick, got a little loose there in the second to last corner, and Martinez, after all that pressure, makes it pay off. Gets a freebie there.
Ruzick's had a rough race.
He has. But no, I was about to say, this is about the moment where I kind of realized I was starting to get a little tired. Not physically, but just mentally, trying to look through the spray on my windshield and having cars in front and behind. It felt, honestly, a lot like what we've seen tonight, nonstop battles, and after a while, you just get a little fatigued. And I've said this before, but you got to have some kind of fallback in your own brain. Oh, Pink Audi losing it a little bit.
Yeah, Carlos is getting a little loose under pressure from Gould here. But I couldn't agree more. I was getting really tired, just feeling the mental strain, having to focus through this mist. It was I mean, I didn't want to do anything after this race. I just went straight to bed.
Oh yeah, you need some kind of mental exercise to keep yourself focused. I've said before, a couple slaps on the forehead, or maybe down the straight, get a nice gulp of cold water or something to freshen up a little bit, because it's taxing on the brain here.
Gould has an absolute moment.
No!
Comes across and collects somebody else.
That's Crinky in the Honda.
Oh my goodness! Absolute anarchy.
How do you get back on track from the way that they're facing? Holy
I don't know.
crap.
Hopefully there's not more cars coming.
They find a gap and they're able to turn the cars around.
Oh, Gould trying to decide. Oh, he does dip in.
He does. He goes into the pits.
Oh my goodness.
We caught that exact same situation happen earlier in the race with Gould, where he catches that puddle on the outside of the last corner and wipes it. Man, that's tough to see. We know he has plenty of pace and just kind of all on his own. Lost it twice in the same spot in the same race. That's tough to watch.
While we were watching that carnage, Ambrose got past Gardner.
Oh, we totally missed that. Yeah, no, I mean, Evan's right. I mean, your mental strain at this point in the race is tough. I mean, I'm not even racing, and I can't even read correctly. So, I mean, that just shows how much mental strain this race is going to take on the drivers and the broadcasters. I mean,
us broadcasters have such a tough job, let me tell you. Not enough love for us broadcasters.
I mean, people trying to back out of $2 bets with the broadcasters. I don't know. I don't know why people would do that, but you know, people are Michael Jeffries, and he's trying to do it. So
no honor amongst thieves. Trying to steal my $2.
My 8 quarters. I need my 8 quarters, man.
$2.50.
We need to do laundry after all the sweating we've done preparing for the race last night. The commentator's booth.
The stream doesn't make itself, and as you can tell, it's straining my poor PC. We have to fund this project. PC. Now I know why those big streamers have an entire PC dedicated to streaming, and then they have another one that they actually play the content with.
Kovic is pressuring Curtis Lee. Curtis running in P16 right now.
Ambrose coming up on some back markers here. It's going to make the battle for second place really spicy. Coming down the front straight here.
Kovac, the Porsches in the wet, and Dahy called it. Porsches in the wet just can't perform.
Do you think that those two Porsches are using the same setup? Because they have the off in the same spot each time.
Wouldn't be surprising, them two being teammates, and yeah, maybe they just sacrificed a little in that last corner to try to make up for it on the rest of the track. But safety first, boys. That's not good for the team there.
She's loosey-goosey.
Safety first. So when it's wetter than expected, you want to make sure you use Trojan condoms, brought to you by the BBC conglomerate, right?
Yes, sir.
I knew some stupid shit was going to come out of his mouth the second he started that comment.
You got a Magnum dong. You need the Magnum Monster.
That's enough.
Provided by Trojan.
I want to know how much you guys are getting plugged, because I'm not seeing any of it. Oh, Gardner is right on Ambrose. This back marker is giving Ambrose a really hard time. You see in the background there's some back marker carnage. Cars are starting to slide all over the place. You don't take... Oh no, Gardner goes around. He's in traffic.
What happened?
He just totally off on his own.
This is P3. P3. Oh, and there's a Ferrari off as well. What happened there?
They got off to get out of the way of Gardner so that they didn't plow him.
Gardner's still not lost a position yet. Michael Scott is coming down.
Michael Scott is only 0.6 behind Gardner now. He's got a back marker in between.
Michael Jeffries is wishing he would have stuck with Super Dave instead of Michael Scott.
All right, back marker out of the way. Michael Scott's coming.
Oh yeah, he's coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Another back marker. Get out of the way. We got paper deliveries to be making.
Constantine is also taking advantage of this. Super Dave is now close to him. Formigal slides off track. Oh, Formigal with a big slide. He's going to lose a position to Rodriguez, most likely, and maybe even Curtis Lee. Nope, he's able to hold his positions.
Boys, Curtis Lee started from the pits in P36, up 20 positions into P16. That's my boy right there. Let's go.
That is huge for the program.
So, you know what else is huge? The BBC team.
Yes, sir.
They cover 3 divisions. They have representation across all 3 teams.
Long, thick.
Oh no, Rodriguez and Formigal have a moment.
There we go. More for Curtis.
Curtis does get by. Let's see what happens. Oh no.
More for Curtis. Doesn't care about 2 drivers having an off track.
Can you sense the bias? I certainly
That
can.
that is some team loyalty right there. He's commenting on a race. He's like, yeah, I'm glad they went off.
Yeah,
I'm feeling.
You called it earlier, though. We knew Curtis was fast, and
yeah, for sure.
He's a beast.
Formigal's going into the pits. He just sped in the pit lane too. He had to have. He went much too fast. Race ending for him.
It's shaping up to be a tough season for Formigal. He was the one that ran out of fuel last week. Is that right?
That is not correct. That was Damian Martinez.
Okay, you're right. Sorry about that.
I made sure to make notes of that.
Formigal's race is looking really good. But it went from he qualified P24, moved way up into the field, and then he's back down to P21. And so
keep an eye on him. I'm almost certain he's sped in the pit lane. He's going to be coming out here in a second. Yep, there it is. Stop, go 30. Oh, dagger. Boy. Absolute dagger. The gaps are definitely waning. Damiani with nearly a 15-second gap to P2. 15-second gap to P3 from Ambrose to Gardner after his little moment. Scott is hanging around a second and a half behind Gardner. The next closest battle is Constantine fighting Super Dave. Less than a second gap in between these two.
So people are wanting to see the fight for third, but the problem is the fight for third right now, Michael Scott's still a second and a half away. Right now, I think we're on Constantine?
Correct. We're fighting for Constantine and Super Dave for P5.
P5 and P6 right now is the closest battle.
Michael Scott cannot hang with the pace of Gardner. Now that Gardner is back into the groove after his moment, he's got more pace than Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Down the pecking order too. Formigal is out of the pits.
I see a trend. Damiani for Pro-Am. And if that's the case, Dylan has to go up with him. Just so you're, I was gonna say you can't say one without saying the other, because these two have shown that they're in a league of their own right now.
I heard this week Dahy and Josh Arnold for Pro. They come in pairs apparently.
Well, then Dahy and Josh, yeah, you're right. Dahy and Josh.
Josh Arnold.
I was gonna say Josh Allen because of his.
Don't even go there. They have plenty of representation in D1 already.
Back that up right now.
Exactly. I'm sure Josh Arnold fan club just had their ears ringing. They're gonna sign into the YouTube account and start trolling the comment section here any second. This is Josh Arnold.
For those of you not watching the D3 race, we have a newcomer, Molly New, Gutierrez, and then Sawyer in the top 3. They don't have much of a gap between the three, but Sawyer has Toddy Robbie chasing him down for P4. So that is what's currently going on in the D3 race. In case you guys were curious.
Did you just say Sawyer is in P1?
P3.
P3, okay.
Molly New, who's a new driver.
Gotcha.
Gutierrez, P2. And then a pretty big gap behind him is Sawyer with Toddy Robbie right on his tail.
I took Sawyer under my wing this week to give him some coaching, and I'm glad to see it paying off. Good for him.
Oh, that's wholesome. You were handing out coaching services left and right this week, am I wrong?
I was dishing them if people were taking them. I hosted the little coaching session on Thursday, much less formal than customary, where we don't have like a recording of it or anything. I wasn't doing any particular hot laps. It was all just one-on-one time. Speaking of one-on-one time, Constantine is familiarizing himself with Super Dave's bumper, and it is very intimate.
For everybody in the chat, we do have a pull up, and I can see you're already talking about it for our t-shirt. I'm in talks with designing an SRA t-shirt with a supplier. Need to know if you guys want like a cotton soft t-shirt, if you want like a dry fit t-shirt. Not like a really tight dry fit, like more like just, you know, loose, cool material for when you're racing and getting sweaty in the seat. Make sure you vote in the poll section of the league. Our website, simracingalliance.com, is also getting some updates. If you're a fan of our time trial leaderboard, expect for that to be expanding. It all depends on if Michael Jeffries is going to back out of that, like he's backing out of his bet. So we'll see if that gets updated or not.
Shots fired and shots landed.
Time for the product plus. Oh, you didn't know that he was about to get
absolutely flamed.
out.
That was awesome. Speaking of awesome, Evan's looking at some side-by-side action.
Oh
Yep,
my gosh, going into turn one.
Rodriguez beat him in the drag race down at turn 1. That's our boy Curtis Lee relinquishing P14 to Roger Rodriguez there in the McLaren. Nice move there.
Relinquishing. Now that's a good word. Last week we were in the booth talking to Duran about how he's a thesaurus and dropping some unique words in the chat. I love it.
That might be the biggest word I've used in, 10 weeks, 12 weeks we've been doing this.
Yeah, and I like it. Keep it up.
When I think about big things I like on Evan, it's not just his vocabulary.
Hey.
It's his personality.
Hey.
It's them legs.
And, yeah, and the
Hey.
quads.
We got Constantine and P6 still just on the bumper of Super Dave, and he's navigating through some traffic right now.
He's keeping him honest. Constantine does have a little bit of a moment there. Loses some traction.
Leaders on final lap now.
Constantine struggles in Sector 2, but he makes all the time back in Sectors 3 and Sector 1.
Oh, Ambrose going off track, but he saves it. He's still got a gap in front and a gap behind, so there's nothing at risk there. But he's going off track again. What's he doing? He's driving in a straight line and going off track. Is he? He's got to be like texting and driving or something. He's got P2 wrapped up and.
He's texting the boys in the Discord chat saying, "You guys have no idea the amount of points I'm about to get."
It's not over yet. Race control called this is the final lap, but that doesn't mean it's over.
Speaking of it's not over, Evan's looking at P12 of Stoffel putting an absolute immense amount of pressure on Carlos Guzman. All right, let's keep an eye on the track there. 777 with the triangle logo in Sector 2. When he crosses the line, that is the end of the race. These guys are running out of time to make moves. Are we going to see some moments of desperation? Constantine, excuse me, is as close as he's ever been. Now's the time. Evan, catch Catch Damiani as he crosses the line. Here he comes. Your race winner for week 2, season 3, Josh Damiani. Congratulations.
Just finished the race.
P2 rounding the final corner also. Ambrose closing the gap.
Oh, Crinkle just has an off track. He's ran out of fuel. He's on the side of the track. He's dropping positions 4, 5, 6 positions. No, you hate to see it. 7 positions, it looks like. He's not that far away from. Oh, man.
Oh, he just returned to pits.
He just returned
too.
to pits. Bad. Oh, you hate to see it. The last lap battles here. Astolfo attacking Guzman. Guzman needs to hold on. Oh, Astolfo has a little bit of a moment. I think Carlos is going to keep him at bay.
Is this Damiani's first ever win?
I'm not certain, to be honest with you.
I am not either. This might actually be his first win. We've seen him on the podium a couple times, but I don't think he's sat on top.
Let's go, Damiani. First win. I love to see first wins.
Carlos hangs on. Astolfo keeping him honest with only 4/10 behind. Great race, gentlemen. They cross the line. That is your entire grid finishing. Previously mentioned, Lucas, cranky here, ran out of fuel, returned to the pits. He loses several positions because anyone that was on the same lap as him that finished gets to place ahead of him. But absolute great performance, everybody. Mega performance.
Let's pull up our race winner, Mr. Damiani.
Pull him up.
Damiani, first win in SRA?
First win ever.
Ever. Wow. Congratulations. Put it on pole. Held the lead through the first lap and then just drove away from everybody. How are you feeling?
I am feeling happy to get out of the chair after that one. Like, yeah, I did get away from the pack a little bit, but it was scary. From flag to flag, that was quite the drive. And yeah, happy to take the win in the process.
Wow, blue flags and everything, you were able to navigate through them. Way to keep a calm head, man. That's tough. I mean, you can get in your head sometimes.
Definitely. I actually had my previous teammate, Justin Burridge, in the chat with me, being a little bit of a race engineer tonight, helping keeping me calm. And I think we might have to make that a common occurrence.
Was he holding your rig together too while you were racing?
No, I had other facilities for that. Thank you. Shout out Flex Tape.
It'll hold.
You got it.
Well, Damiani, congratulations on an epic battle and epic performance leading the grid, much like Matt Lehman in Division 1. Who knows? Maybe you're the next alien.
To be compared to Matt, even sarcastically like that is a pleasure. So thanks for that.
Not a sarcastic drip in that, buddy. I promise. So sincere.
I'm playing. I appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot for the comments.
Sure thing, brother.
Congrats,
Take it easy.
Josh.
Congrats, Josh. We've got Austin Gardner up here, which is our P3 finisher. Austin, how was your race, man? You were in a tight battle with Dylan almost the entire time. Walk us through what happened.
Woo! Well, that was pretty wet out there. We were pretty darn close. Those blue flags held us up, but that's racing for you. You got to work around it. He got the better of me as I came around. I don't remember what turn it was, but lost the grip, regained it, and just couldn't hang on, and he took me over. But that was close as heck. That was fun.
You were able to hold him keep him at bay for quite a while too. He had a couple moments trying to push extra hard to get to you. So you guys had some pretty similar pace, but ultimately you guys both performed really well today. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care, Austin.
Yep.
Dylan, P2 finish. I think you qualified P2 as well. You got the fastest. No, you didn't qualify P2, but you had the fastest lap. That was quite a battle, and now you and Damiani are locked in quite a championship contention after 2 races. Walk me through your race, my friend.
Oh, blue flags. I think is fair for a lot of the pace, especially in the back half. But I think really the killer, the thing that I could have changed, and maybe won with, is that that fuck up, that failed overtake coming into T1. I can't believe I locked up the rears. I had my brake balance pushed pretty far, like 55, and I just, coming into that clean air, I wasn't expecting the change in the aero balance, and I locked up. I was like, no, that's it, no. I didn't think I was actually even going to catch Gardner, but I'm glad I did, because now I can tie with Josh. But goddamn,
You managed, all things considered.
that was a rough track. I mean, I'm not saying blue flags as if people weren't moving in an appropriate time. They were doing it for the vast majority of the time when they should, but it just sucks when there's only like 2 opportunities to move over safely. And sometimes you can get stuck in that whole second sector behind somebody and you lose like 2 seconds.
You're not wrong. We saw many occasions where yourself and other drivers included were just struggling, caught behind some traffic. But that's the one of the characteristics of Zandvoort. It's hard to pass, and it definitely lended itself to some, when there were opportunities to pass, really great battles. But congratulations on a really great finish, 2 weeks in a row. Let's see what you can muster for week 3.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Have a good one, brother.
Hey, Dylan, before you leave, I just want to say you and Josh are tied at 212 points each in the championship standings.
Oh, that's scary.
So this is shaping up to be quite a rivalry. We'll see how it pans out over the next 6 weeks or 6 races.
I wonder which one's Max.
What is next? Donington Park. So how do you feel about Donington?
You know, it's a weird track. That's a very weird track. With those off-camber corners in the second sector, you can really make or break a race right there. I mean, the last big organized affair I did there, I want to say there was multiple podium changes in this third sector, and T1 didn't lead that much of the race, I don't think. It's a pretty dicey track. I mean, I can think off the top of my head 4 corners where you can make a half second on people that are putting down laps that are in your pace, you know? It should be fun.
It'll definitely be fun to watch next week. So can't wait to see what times you put in the practice server, and I know this will motivate Damiani as well. So look forward to watching this battle next week. Take care, Dylan.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, gentlemen, I couldn't be happier with how that went. There's a lot of action. There were quite a few incidents that left us with our jaws to the floor, but ultimately good racing and a really great turnout for everybody once again.
I'm stoked. That was another crazy race, very reminiscent of what we saw last night in the pro race, of bumper to bumper action, couple of mishaps here and there, catching some puddles in the wrong spots, and I mean, racing in the wet, you never know what's going to happen, and we saw that tonight. It was really fun to watch.
Let me just say, I echo Evan's comments from earlier. My face is like hurting from cheesing so much. Like I just had so much fun watching what was going on. Yeah, this is going to be an exciting D2 season, because even though Josh and Dylan are tied, there are a couple of drivers like Austin and Raphael and Brian Anderson that are right behind them. Oh, Dustin Fickert, Michael Scott, all of them right there, just one race away from being in contention. So this will be a season to watch. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday night for the amateur races, and tune in on Tuesday nights for the Division 1 races, and comment along in the YouTube comments. So But other than that, that's all I have to say, Doug.
Yeah, again, absolute pleasure being here with you two gents, and looking forward to next week. All right, everybody. Well, on behalf of SRA, Season 3, Round 2 at Zandvoort, that's a wrap. Thanks, guys.